Hey, what's up guys? It's Crazy Asian Airsoft. I'm here at college. I just decided to show you all a quick video. I've gotten a lot of requests to do a video like this. So today's video is going to be how to change your speed trigger, or how to change out your trigger, I should say. And how do I get it tuned so close? It's very simple. This video won't take very long. If you're looking for something that doesn't have a bunch of useless crap in it, then this is the video for you. Let's get right down to it. So you're going to start out with this tool right here. It has, I hope it'll focus there, let's see. It has a little star end on it. It's a star end. I don't know what size it is, but it's pretty easy if you buy a set of these from the hardware store. They're easy to find. So you're gonna start with that. My gearbox, most gearboxes actually have just a regular Phillips head. That's actually easier to find. Any screwdriver you have around your house should open that up. My particular gearbox, this is a G&G gearbox shell from an ARP9. This should be pretty easy to find this tool as well. And these are the screws that came with it, so that's just what I used. So let's go ahead and take those out. Okay, now that we've taken the last screw out, we've taken all the top screws out and then all the screws at these points right here. There's 4 on the bottom part of the gearbox and 4 on the top. And what you're want to do is going to flip it over. This is because all of the components of a Polar Star gearbox are always resting on the opposite side. Depending on, you can call it the left or the right, but it depends on which way you look at it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to very carefully lift up your gearbox shell, half of it. So there's my spring guide right there for you. And here is the inside of the Polar Star. So here's your wiring harness. Here's your IGL that I have here, or you can have a macro line that comes with the Polar Star, that's fine. Now here's where you want to be really careful, because there are a lot of important components in here and they are somewhat fragile, arguably, so you just want to be careful you don't pinch anything, you don't cut anything. Don't go like messing around here with tools if you don't know what you're doing. But this is very simple. You don't need to touch anything else in the gearbox except for your trigger. So right here, I already have a gold speed trigger that I installed myself. I'm going to pull that out just like that. It comes out very easy. You want to make sure you got a good grip on it. And there it is, you guys. So now you have no trigger. So what you can do now, if you want to swap it out for a black one, I bought this black one from Battle Cat Airsoft near Greenville, South Carolina. So you're going to take that. Let's open it up. There's your trigger, guys. Nice shiny black. It's completely straight. Great for feathering the trigger. And we're going to adjust it today too, so I'll show you how to do that. For the sake of this video, because I know most of you will be using the spring, I'm going to use the spring as well. That's the spring right there. It's really tiny, kind of about the size of a pen spring, which you can use as well. If you ever lose your spring, just find any click pin and just drop the spring right in, cut a few coils off if you like, and then you're good to go. So on the speed triggers, there are 2 adjustment points, the front and the back. And let me try and get it to focus here. So you'll see, I don't know how easy it is to see that. So you got 1 point right here, then you have 1 point right there. You can adjust either of those so the trigger doesn't go back too far or doesn't go forward too far. It's very simple. On the back of the trigger, you will see where the second adjustment screw comes in. There's a little hollowed out space around it. That's where your spring is going to go right now, okay? So you're going to take that. You're going to just kind of gently put it right in there. Be very careful that you don't lose it. If you press it down a little bit and you let it go, these will spring out and just fly somewhere in your room and you'll never find it. Eventually it'll end up in your foot. Don't do that. So be very careful. This is arguably the hardest part of installing a speed trigger with the spring, but it's fine. Yeah, this is easy. We'll take care of it. So what we're going to do now, you can see the spring on the back of the trigger there. So we're going to take it, and you can see the little hole right there. It's not this hole, it's not any of the other holes around. It's this one right here where my driver is pointing. You're going to take it, and then you're going to have to, you see, you press your spring right there. You're going to have to press the spring against it a little bit and kind of push in the spring. Again, be very careful that you don't let the spring go and it'll fly away, because it's kind of high tension. So then slowly just kind of hold your thumb there and make sure, and then press the one side into the hole. And there you go. So now your trigger's in. Again, might want to keep a finger on it, hope the spring doesn't push the trigger out. Let's zoom back out a little bit. And then let's see here. So then now, so if you can see, there's your micro switch right there. And each time your trigger is pulled, it presses it like a little button. So what adjusting does is it slowly presses that button and you eliminate all this space right here. So we're gonna do that next. So next we're gonna close up the gearbox. Here comes probably the second hardest part. You wanna make sure that your wiring harness is coming out this little notch here in the back, this little notch right here. And then you're just gonna keep that pressed there. Make sure your IGL is coming out, make sure none of your wires are pinched. You're gonna take care of the side of your gearbox. You're gonna make sure everything is lined up. You want the spot on that part of the gearbox to be lined up with the hole right there on your engine. Whether you've got a Wolverine or a Jack or whatever kind of engine. This is an F2, so but it's all the same. And you want to make sure none of your wires are pinched, make sure everything lines up on the trigger as well. And just kind of, you have to push back on the trigger just a little bit to let it go past. All right. And there we go. As you can see, flush fit, there's no gaps. I have no gaps, especially by your cylinder, that's the most important. And it'll be even better when I put my screws back in, but no gaps, no nothing. So next we're gonna put our screws back in, and then we'll get to tuning. All right, you guys, we've got our Polar engine all aligned correctly. We've got our new black trigger in there with the spring, but you see that long pull? Yeah, that's not gonna cut it. That's what you guys came here for. So we've got all of our screws tightened up, so let's get to tuning. So, as I previously mentioned, you're gonna see two different alignment spots, or adjustment spots on your trigger. So, to start with, we're gonna just start adjusting this one. First, I recommend plugging in at least your battery to your Polarstar FCU. That is so you can hear where your solenoids are firing and where the trigger board is activating from the trigger pull. So we're gonna start with that. So I've just plugged in my battery. You can probably see if you can hear this. I don't know if you guys can hear that. The F2 solenoids are really quiet. Anyway, so we're gonna get to tuning. So I wish I just ran out of air, guys, and I haven't located at the time of this recording, I haven't located a spot to get my tank filled because the nearest field to me has banned HPA, so I won't be able to use my Polarstar for a while anyway. But I figured I'd show you guys, so at least I'll try and make it so you can hear the solenoids firing. But what we're going to start with is you're going to turn, let's see, you're going to start turning clockwise, and that will slowly make the screw go up through the top part of the trigger. See how it's pushing it back some? Already it's shorter, a lot shorter. So you're just gonna keep doing that. And you wanna keep turning it. If you want if you want a little bit of play in there, then you can adjust it how you like. But if you want it like as short as I like it, I don't like it like as short as humanly possible. But it is pretty nice to have it like just almost like where you touch it. Just before that. You can tune it where you just touch the side. I'm not going to do that this time because if you're like me, then you like just almost a hair trigger. And also this is, for me, it's easy. I like it where I tap it from the side if I have no trigger spring, which usually I don't use a trigger spring. But this time we're just going to get it as close as we can without making it a hair trigger. Like complete just touch, sideways touch. So we're going to keep turning until we hear the solenoid fire. Right there. You don't want it to double fire. I cannot stress that enough. When I had my Polarstar F1 and I had a spring in it, I had my trigger too tight and it was double firing every other shot. And it was that destroys your solenoids and it makes your gun look ridiculous and sound ridiculous. So So it's firing almost upon touch. So now you're going to leave that one alone, and you're going to start on the back one. So you can, I don't know if you can see it, it's right there. You're going to take it. Again, you're going to turn clockwise. And just periodically check. So that's pretty short right there. I'm going to see if I can get it a little bit shorter. Okay, so that's just about perfect right there, if that's what you're looking for. So I don't know how well you can see that trigger pull, but let's see if I can get it to zoom, and then and there you are, guys. The trigger is now tuned. It's basically a hair trigger. It's really, really stinking short. That's pretty much just as short as I usually have mine. I just never put the spring in because you can get it going on semi like way faster if you don't have a spring. But yeah, that's pretty much how you do this. So that is how you change out trigger. If you have a stock trigger, it's the exact same process. And if you don't have a stock trigger already, you can swap it out for a max. The max speed trigger is done the exact same way. I can confirm that. I've done it myself. A regular V2 trigger with screws drilled into it, it's the exact same process. Any trigger you want to change out on a Polar Star, this is exactly how it's done. It's very simple, very easy. I probably took way longer. If I wasn't videoing, I could have this trigger changed out and installed back in the gun, ready to go in probably 5 minutes. That's how easy it is. It's dummy easy, really simple. And now you're gonna have a shorter trigger pull than anyone on your field. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was easy to understand. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up on in the YouTube comments. That's the best way to get a hold of me. I try and keep track of my comments as best as I can. If I don't respond right away, or if I don't get back in contact with you right away, I'm sorry. I'm at college. Got a lot of work and stuff that I'm doing. You know, growing up, unfortunately, that's how the ball bounces. So hope this video helped, and I'll hopefully have some more videos out for you guys soon. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.